What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Edge Over Action. Today is Friday, June 26, 2026. Same process as always, no forced plays, no parlays, no chasing. We scan the board, we read the market second, we run the model third, and then we stress test every edge before it becomes a bet. All right, quick recap from yesterday before we touch today's card. We finished 3-4 on official results. Yankees at Red Sox, Boston first five team total under 1.5 was a loss. We almost hit that one, except for, but at the bottom of the fourth, Red Sox came back in, and they actually ended up winning that game. Phillies first five money line was a loss. Cubs at Mets got there. It took extra innings, but it got there. That's one thing to look out for today, too, is because Mets fired their manager today after last night's loss. Athletics first five money line got there. Rangers and Blue Jays under 8 lost. Pirates plus 1.5 won. Royals and Rays first five under 4.5 lost as well. D-backs at Cardinals and Astros at Tigers stayed at passes, and that matters. A pass is not a missed bet. A pass is discipline. So we log it in, we learn from it, and we move on. No tilt, no revenge betting. Today's slate gets judged on today's numbers. Before we get into today's slate, quick disclaimer. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Sports betting involves risk, and I am not responsible for any losses, bad beats, line movements, or decisions you make with your own bankroll. Always bet responsibly, only bet what you can afford to lose, and follow the laws where you live. Now, if you enjoy disciplined sports betting content, MLB Slate breakdowns, market reads, simulations, and real bet or pass decisions, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the daily card. Here's how we do things here on Edge Over Actions. We do not start with the picks, we start with the board. First, we scan the full slate. We look for weather flags, pitching volatility, strange line movement, public money splits, sharp money signals, bullpen fatigue, travel spots, lineup risk, and games that may actually be worth modeling. Second, we build a short list. Not every game deserves action. Most games are passes. We are only looking for the games where the market might have made a mistake. Third, we read the market before the model. We want to know where the line opened, where it moved, who the public is betting, where the money is showing, and whether the move looks like real steam or fake steam. Fourth, we run the baseball model. That gives us projected scores, win percentages, fair lines, total probabilities, first five edges, and possible mispriced markets. Fifth, we stress test everything. We ask, what makes this bet completely wrong? What if the starter is worse than expected? What if the bullpen is tired? And what if the weather edge disappears? What if the market side is not a trap and the market is right? We need to know these questions, okay? And then finally, we make that call. Better pass, baby. No leans, no maybes, and no forced plays. And one more important rule, we're not about building parlays here. We're not trying to get rich off one lottery ticket. This channel is about growing the account with disciplined straight bets and bankroll protection. Parlays are fun, guys, but they are not the foundation of this process. And before we start the scan, hit that like button if you want more daily MLB breakdowns. So here it is. Let's get into today's board. All right, guys, we are jumping into our pregame scan, and again, this is just a pregame scan. There are 15 games on today's slate. My scan is giving us a handful of games to look into, just because these games probably have the best possible edge. So, going into that, there are no picks. These are just a scan. All right, first game, we've got Marlins at Cardinals. Why it's worth looking into, this is the top weather risk game. RotoWire shows 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 60% chance of rain, and the hourly forecast still has rain risk after first pitch. That creates starter interruption risk, bullpen chaos, and full game total uncertainty. The pitching matchup is also interesting. Max Meyer, 8-0, 2.8 ERA versus Michael McGreevy, 3 wins, 6 losses, 3.35 ERA. Yet the market is only around Cardinals minus 116, Marlins plus 105. That is why this is not stronger either way. That is why this is not a stronger either way game. All right, the main question is St. Louis being priced for home field lineup, or is Miami live because Meyer is unpriced? Next game, we've got Reds at Pirates. Why it's worth looking into, classic ace tax spot. Paul Skeens, 6 wins, 7 losses, 2.86 ERA is listed against Andrew Abbott, 5 wins, 4 losses, 3.83 ERA, and Pittsburgh is sitting around minus 200 with a low total around 7.5. That's expensive enough where we need to ask whether Skeens is priced correctly or overpriced. A market note, Action Network's public betting section shows an extreme 18% of bets, 82% of money split, but the scrape page doesn't not make side attribution perfectly clear. This is a game where Action Network numbers matter before judging real steam versus fake steam. Okay, we've got next game, Cubs at Brewers. Why it's worth looking into, massive favorite, division matchup, and possible public sharp imbalance. Jacob Mizorowski, 8 wins, 3 losses, 1.45 ERA is listed against Colin Ray, 5 wins, 5 losses, 4.99 ERA, and Milwaukee is priced around minus 265, with the Cubs around plus 217. That's a huge number for an MLB game, even with the starter gap. Market note, Action Network shows 14% of bets and 86% of the money in public betting module against requiring confirmation for side clarity. The real question is whether this is sharp Brewer support, inflated ace tax, or a run line first 5 only market. Next game, we've got Phillies at Mets, and why it's worth looking into, starter mismatch plus Mets chaos. MLB lists Zach Wheeler's 7 wins, 1 loss, 2.11 ERA for Philadelphia, while the Mets starter is still to be determined. Actually, I do think we have a confirmation on that starter, and I could tell you that right now. Give me 2 seconds. Starting pitcher should be Zach Thornton with... It doesn't have his wins or losses, but his ERA for 2026 is 8.31. Yikes. So, weather note, Citi Field has a sneaky run environment flag, 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 3% precipitation, 8 miles per hour wind blowing out. Not a rain issue, but the wind direction matters if the total is tight. All right, next game, we've got Yankees at Red Sox. Why it's worth looking into, there's a rivalry tax. Yankees were up, ended up Red Sox coming back, bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th. They won that game. Granted, it was a home game, but I'm sure the Yankees are going to want to come back with a little revenge today. Action Network lists Will Warren, 7 wins, 2 losses, 3.45 ERA versus Peyton Toll, 3 wins, 5 losses, 3.08 ERA, with the Yankees only a slight favorite around minus 115 and Boston around minus 105. That's a near pick'em despite the Yankees' stronger record, so this needs a market read check. Weather note, RotoWire shows 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 45% precipitation chance, 6 mile per hour winds blowing out at Fenway, while Action Network's page shows a lower rain figure. That disagreement alone makes this worth checking closer for first pitch. Yeah, so weather is a huge factor for that game. Next game, we've got Astros at Tigers, why it's worth looking into. Near pick'em with a small starter edge, any possible market split. MLB lists Spencer Arrighetti. 7 wins, 3 losses, 3.13 ERA against Kiter Montero. 3 wins, 5 losses, 3.68 ERA, while Action Network has Detroit around minus 118 and Houston around minus 102, plus 107, depending on the display. Market note, Action Network shows 44% bets, 56% of the money, with multiple expert side entries appearing on Houston. But this is not a pick. It is a reason to inspect whether Houston is getting sharper buyback while Detroit remains the listed favorite. Next game, we've got Braves at Giants. Why it's worth looking into. Oracle Park weather, angle plus Giants starter uncertainty. MLB lists Reynaldo Lopez for Atlanta. And as of right now, it says that it is to be determined for the starting pitcher for the Giants, but I can tell you it is Trevor McDonald. Trevor McDonald has 2 wins, 5 losses with a 4.927 ERA. So yeah, cover shows Atlanta only slightly favored around -116. Oracle has a major wind flag, 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 mile per hour winds blowing out, rising to 15 mile per hour winds out later. Is a very relevant because Oracle usually suppresses offense. The main question, is the market slow to adjust the Giants? Actually, no. There is no main question at that because now that we have the starter, we should be able to figure that out. So, all right, next game. Dodgers at Pirates. Why it's worth looking into. Brand name Dodgers road favorite in a division spot. The matchup is Roki Sasaki, 3 wins, 4 losses, 4.76 ERA versus Walker Buehler, 4 wins, 3 losses, 3.96 ERA. And the Dodgers around -145 to -161, with San Diego around +120 to +132. The starter ERA gap does not scream massive Dodgers edge, so the price needs a scrutiny. Weather note, Petco has 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 0% rain, 8 mile per hour wind blowing out, which is not extreme, but still matters in a lower scoring park. So, yeah. So that is the pre-game scan. Next, we're going to work on our secondary list to look into games. And we'll pretty much go from there. We're going to figure out if you're going to bet or pass. So, all right, now that we've narrowed it down, here are the games that we're going to deep dive into just a little bit further to see if we're going to bet or pass. First deep dive, we've got Phillies at Mets. The market is not hiding this side. Philadelphia is the obvious side, but the number still looks slightly short at -160 or better. The starter gap is real. Zach Wheeler projects as the clear advantage over Zach Thornton, and the Mets also carry fatigue concerns after the recent doubleheader and bullpen usage. The model projected Phillies 4.77 runs, Mets 3.25, with Philadelphia winning 66.8% of simulations. The raw fair line was around Phillies -201, with a conservative stress-adjusted fair line closer to -180 to -185. Current line was around -160 to -164, playable up to -170. The trap-looking market was not the Phillies money line, it was the run line. The public loves the plus money blowout angle, but the most likely win pocket is Phillies by 1 to 3 runs. The disaster scenario is Wheeler being only good instead of dominant. The Mets working counts, Thornton surviving early, and Philly needing a tired bullpen slate. But a -160 or better, the price still gives enough cushion. Final decision, we are going to bet Phillies money line -160 or better at 0.75 units, no run line, no parlay. Next game, Cubs at Brewers. This is not a full game Brewers money line bet. Milwaukee is very likely to be the better side, but -270 or higher is an expensive price. The cleaner angle is Brewers' first 5 money line, tie equals push. That isolates Jacob Mizorowski over Colin Rea and avoids some of the late bullpen variants. The model projected Brewers 4.35 runs, Cubs 3.07. In the first 5, Milwaukee led 56.7% of the time, tied 18.2%, and trailed 25.1%. The raw fair line was around -225, and the stress-adjusted fair line closer to -200 to -205. Current price was around -179, playable up to -190. The biggest risk is Mizorowski command regression. The Cubs are patient enough to make him work, and if he walks hitters early, this gets uncomfortable fast. But the full game price is inflated, while the first 5 price is still softer. Final decision, we are going to bet Brewers first 5 money line, tie equals push, -179 or better, keep it flat and disciplined. Next game, we have Yankees at Red Sox. The Yankees had the better money signal, but the side was not clean enough for an official play. The real market question was the total. The public was heavy on the over and a half, but the number did not jump to 9. That looks like book resistance and possible under buyback. The model projected Yankees 4.36 runs, Red Sox 4.1, for a total of 8.46 runs. Under 8.5 hit 54.2% with a fair price around minus 119. If you can get plus money, especially plus 100 or better, that is where the value is. The stress test is real here too. Fenway weather is not perfectly clean, and any delay could knock out starters early and expose tired bullpens. That is why this is a half a unit, not a quarter of a unit. So the for this bet, if you know where we're going here. The disaster scenario is walks, a Fenway double, and a 3-run first inning. The under is not dead immediately, but it becomes fragile fast. So the final decision, we're going to bet full game under 8.5 at plus 100 or better at half a unit. Make sure it's a half a unit. All right, we've got Marlins at Cardinals. Marlins at Cardinals looked sharp early, but the window closed. The market showed a classic low-ticket, high-money split toward Miami, and usually respected money, and the move from plus 105 towards minus 105 was real steam. The problem is we would be late. Max Meyer gives Miami the starter edge, and McGreevy has regression risk. But the current price already absorbed that. The model had Miami winning 51.7% with a raw fair line around minus 107 and a stress-adjusted fair line closer to minus 101 or minus 102. At plus 104, Miami was playable. At minus 105, it's not. The biggest risk is whether rain delay or starter interruption can erase Meyer's edge and turn this into bullpen chaos. Final decision, we're going to pass. Good market read, bad current price. All right, next game, we've got Diamondbacks at Rays. D-backs at Rays was another case where the market already corrected. Tampa moved from around minus 125 to minus 140s. The Rays are the more likely winner, but the model fair line was basically minus 145. Current price was minus 142 to minus 145, which is fair, not a true edge. The model projected Rays 4.88 runs, Diamondbacks 4.05 runs, and Tampa won 59.2% of simulations. But the strongest reason not to bet is Nick Martinez's regression and Rays bullpen usage. Also, after Tampa's huge offensive game yesterday, the market may be paying extra for Rays bats and the over. Final decision, we're going to pass. Tampa can win and still be a bad bet at the wrong number. All right, next game we have Astros at Tigers. Astros at Tigers gave us one of the cleaner key number angles. The Astros are the sharp money signal on the side, and there are also under resistance at the total of 9. But I don't want full game Astros money line because Agarete has some walk and regression risk, and I don't want full game under because bullpen fatigue can wreck it late. The cleaner bet is first 5 under 5. The model projected a full game total of 8.5, 8.5, but the first 5 under 5 won 55.4%, pushed 14.3%, and lost 30.3%. That push projection on the number 5 is the key. Current price was around minus 118, raw fair line was around minus 180, and the stress-adjusted fair line was around minus 140 to minus 145. Playable at minus 125 or better. Pass if it becomes under... Pass if it becomes under 4.5. The price is completely remodeled. The disaster scenario is Agarete, losing the strike zone early, walk, single walk, extra base hit, and suddenly the first 5 under is under pressure. But with under 5 still under, the number is strong enough. Final decision, bet. Astros, Tigers, first 5, under 5, minus 125 or better. Next game, we've got Mariners at Guardians. Mariners at Guardians had a real model edge, but not a betting edge at current price. The under signal was the most interesting market read. Public money liked the over, but the total moved down from 8 to 7.5. That says the better entry was early, not now. The model projected Mariners 3.87, Guardians 3.75, with full game under 7.5, around 54.4%. The best raw edge was first 5 under 4.5 at 64.5%, but the current price was around minus 136. After the stress test, we needed minus 125 or better at minus 136. We are paying too much. The risk is an unknown umpire, weather disagreement, Castillo walk risk, Castillo traffic risk. A tight zone or messy first inning can erase the edge fast. Final decision, we're going to pass. The model likes it, but the betting number is not good enough. At the time when I ran the numbers for this game, there was no umpire assigned to this game. So, yeah, there's risk of no umpire for this game, or not knowing who the umpire is for this game yet. All right, final game, we have Reds at Pirates. Reds at Pirates is a classic ace-tax spot. I don't want full game Pirates money line at minus 205 to minus 220. This is public Skeens tax, but the first 5 money line type equals push was still playable. The pitching edge is Skeens over Abbott. Skeens has the better swing and miss, command and contact profile. Abbott's walk and traffic risk is the attack point. The model projected Pirates 4.42 runs, Reds 3.28 runs in a full game. First 5 projected Pirates 2.23 runs, Reds 1.34. Pittsburgh led after a 56.9% of the time, pushed 19.7%, and lost 23.4%. Current price was minus 149 with a stress-adjusted fair line around minus 175 to minus 185. Playable to minus 160 max. Pass at minus 165 or worse. The disaster scenario is simple. Reds score first, Skeens is merely good instead of dominant, and Abbott strands runners for 5 innings. But at minus 149, the first 5 price is not carrying the same tax as the full game money line. Final decision, we're going to bet. Pirates, first 5 money line, tie equals push, minus 149 or better at half a unit. That gives us the final card for June 26. Official bets, Phillies money line minus 160 or better, Brewers first 5 money line, tie equals push. Yankees and Red Sox full game under 8.5 at plus 100 or better. Astros and Tigers first 5 under 5 at minus 125 or better. Pirates first 5 money line, tie equals push, minus 149 or better. The games that we passed on, Marlins at Cardinals because the Miami price window closed. D-backs at Rays because the Rays price already corrected. Mariners at Guardians because the best under angle got too expensive. No run lines, no parlays, no forced actions. All right, guys, this is the whole point of edge over actions. We do not need action. We need an edge. You guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Join me tomorrow when we go over next MLB Slate. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, no edge, no bet. Have a great day.